Happy Monday, everybody. Follow up for you on Father Tony's homily over the weekend, the visible and the invisible world. Listen to these words from the very beginning of the creed that we pray at Mass every week. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible. And as he was saying, we see the invisible world most often through the visible world as we learn to attune ourselves to that. A little personal story. When I was first pastoring down in Eugene, we had a gentleman, I think his name was Larry, who told me a number of times that whenever Mass was being celebrated, he could actually see angels hovering over the altar as we were doing that. He was attuned to a different kind of vision than most of us are in a normal, ongoing way. I have no reason to doubt at all his own experience of that. And I suspect our world is much more charged with angels and spiritual beings than we tend to think of most times. Very helpful on that. So I remember, again, thinking back a ways, when I made my priesthood retreat just before being ordained 38 years ago now, I was reading a book by Father Karl Rahner, a Jesuit priest. And in there, he was talking about the Mass and all of the sacraments really is being a opening for us. If we can begin to experience Jesus in the sacraments, the idea is then that we go forth away from those specific sacraments and have the ability to see God's working, the invisible working in the visible everywhere around us. Let me see if I can make that clear for you. So we know in the Eucharist, for instance, that we believe absolutely that the bread and the wine, the substance of the bread and the wine is actually changed into the invisible reality of Jesus Christ, the true presence of Jesus. That's hard for us to grasp on only a visible sense, but we believe that in faith, and it's certainly backed up in our tradition and in the scriptures. As we get accustomed to that, we're then able to go forth into the world, and we're able to see with greater clarity the events in our lives, the people in our lives, the circumstances around us, all as openings to the invisible. And God is truly working in the midst of everything. Father Tony's suggestion at the end of the homily that we pray for clarity, that we can see the problems in our lives, the challenges in our lives from God's perspective, and then that we're genuinely open and attentive to how He might reveal that to us. So I've been doing that since I heard the homily on Saturday night. And I can tell you, it's just amazing how God works with that when we try to see things through His perspective, which in a sense is seeing things through the visible into the invisible and trusting that God is vibrantly in work in our lives in all of that. So, God bless all of you. We have one more week in this homily series on our magnificent destiny. This coming weekend, I get to talk to you about judgment and heaven and hell and purgatory. So stay tuned for all of that. I've got a good message for you, and I think one that you're going to find consoling and challenging. Peace be with you.